Good afternoon. Welcome back again. Today I'm joined by Mukoma Masimba. He says he's got a cure for corona and under the banner of Zimbabwe. Good evening to you.
I would actually say good morning to you, Mr. Maweri.
It's
No,
4
no, no.
p.m.
Good morning to Mukoma Masimba. Yeah, it's exactly 10 past 12 midnight. So it's
Oh, good
basically good
morning. Good
morning to
morning.
Mukoma
I'm
Masimba
sorry.
and good evening to you. No, that's fine. How are
That's
you, my
fine. Yeah.
friend?
How are you? Here we are.
Ah,
You wanted to talk about corona or this
yes, my friend.
COVID-19. Okay, let's start from there.
Yes, my friend. Just a second. I'm trying to invite my other good friend Sabina here.
All
Just a
right.
second. Mm, please. Okay. All right. There we go. Good. Where am I? Mhm. Okay, she's coming.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. CC is coming back and Duchess Shonga, Rumbidzai, Stotom Bay. Good afternoon. Let's see whether. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. William.
All right.
Number one.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to try to do it before I go deeper on the QA corona.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Maweri, I met you along the way, social media. I'm a literacy test. Sorry, my literacy lesson, not test. Then I participated with you. Then you taught me one thing, which is called there's nothing called the Zimbabwe. I disagreed with you at that stage because me, I was telling you I'm fighting for Zimbabwe. So along the way, fighting for Zimbabwe, I then lost myself. I became something else. So now I'm on my way back. The only thing that I have is a phone and my content. That is what I call uh, my value is on social media. So I'm on my way back. All I want, I just want to meet my mother. To say I want to go and meet, I'm looking for my mother. It's a broad term, but I know where she is. I can call her right now. I choose look for my mother. It's a story. So this is the true story. Yeah, a drug addict. I got diagnosed with depression first. So to make content really reach for depression. After being diagnosed depression, the so-called health professionals here in Australia, then the psychiatrist, that's like the mental health doctor, he told me that your depression, you keep a stage which you can find yourself, you can pick yourself up and start again. So, Mr. Mawere, I came to you and I said to you, I promise you, I want to do what I want to say. I want to do what I said. That is a Zimbabwean man who fought depression by himself. Number one. Again, the Zimbabwean man, and it means they go deeper and Mukoma Masimba. It's a show. But that show, Mr. Mawere, most people they go like, how do you come up with this points or with this go deeper show? One day I just go, wait, I don't plan it, I don't even need to write anything. You know where I go. So it's like a spirit. So this same spirit is telling me, Simba, you have a corner, a solution to coronavirus. So I understand there's nothing called a Zimbabwe. How can I share with my friends? How can I be someone who can be understood by a pedestrian? If I just say to someone, I would say on average, let's say there's a group of 20 people who are or who were born in Zimbabwe. if I just 1 in 20, wherever, be it in Australia, South Africa, and say to them, there's nothing called Zimbabwe. There's nothing called a Zimbabwean. That person will even disagree with me at most. So the only thing I can do is simply to say Zimbabwe has got a solution for coronavirus. By saying that, someone who's more like a pedestrian can hear my message that Zimbabwe has a coronavirus solution. Wow, what, when, why, Wadaro? Then I can answer you some of those questions.
Okay, let's start. Are you corona positive or negative?
I was at the hospital yesterday, right? I left yesterday. Tomorrow I'm going to do a corona test. And I'll be able to tell you. At the moment, all I know is I'm corona negative based on my last results. But again, I was in the hospital. I was in people. I have to go back again tomorrow and test, then self-isolate myself.
All right. So second, what is your understanding of this virus? Because not many people do have a better understanding.
Mr. Mawere, remember, a human being is a rational thing. There's Mukoma Masimba for Izalo. There's Mukoma Masimba for go deeper, that spirit, yes, Zimbabwe. Then there's Mukoma Masimba like me talking to you, right? So this is me talking to you, right? So coronavirus, according to me, it's an airborne disease. Vamukuhotsira or coughing. So the only thing at the moment that I know, which is a fact, apasati power ni cure. But to go deeper na Mukoma Masimba, it would there's a solution for coronavirus. Can you see now, Pamajagons, some people are thinking Mukoma Masimba have a cure. Don't you know, I have a solution for coronavirus. But go deeper na Mukoma Masimba. Then that solution will bring the cure.
So you got a solution, but
Yes.
not a cure.
Not a cure. So Zimbabwe has got a solution for coronavirus, not a cure. Thank you very
when
much.
you say Zimbabwe, what do you mean? Because they say you are a sick man. How can a sick man talk about a solution to another sickness?
Well, to say I'm a sick man, I will answer. I was at the hospital. I got admitted, right? Morning session, the doctor said, Simba, you're good to go home. Then I said, why do you have to release me when people are telling me that I'm sick? I'm a sick man. I have to be here. Why can't you take me to psych ward? They said, no, Simba, at this stage, you are fit and fine to find yourself, and I'm going to discharge you. So I was discharged. So that means, according to health professionals in Australia, I'm fit enough to be in the society and recover from the society. Yes, I'm sick, but how sick? I'm not sick to be in hospital because I was there yesterday and I proved it here, Mr. Mugere. You've got my V11s here. So I'm sick, yes, but I'm sick and also on my way to recovery.
Okay, so you were discharged. That's a fact.
Yes. In fact, I was discharged morning. I only did overnight hospital.
Okay, and how do you feel? Are you fit and proper to discharge your mental faculties, or you feel challenged?
I feel they did a right thing because I'm still able to fit in a society, right? My condition at the moment, it's simply a drug addict, someone who was depressed, who's sharing a story for myself, my story, my life story, showing my mother, Mama, I'm on my way to you. Because if I don't use this pattern, Mr. Mawere, what if I die today? If I die today, you, Mawere, will be saying, your son came here saying, I'm looking for my mother. I know where she is, but I've got a broader term for a mother. Right? At the moment, today I'm here just to say, Mr. Mawere, go deeper, it's a spirit. Kandripa Izalo, I'm just joking. When I'm here, I'm talking to you, my friend. A story to my mother. So I feel I'm fit and fine, and I think the doctor was very fair to discharge me.
And Sabina, good afternoon.
Yes, a very good afternoon to you, Mukoma Masimba and Mr. Mawere.
All right. So it's your turn to have a conversation with Mukoma Masimba to test his idea on corona, and also to satisfy yourself as me being a pedestrian. There are people who are calling me to say I must not give Mukoma Masimba the space or give up time. Some people are threatened by somebody who is just moving. So, how do we deal with this disease of human beings who pretend to be little gods, little doctors, little nurses, little psychiatrists, and determine somebody to be sick when he is here to speak for himself? I don't know. I've never encountered this.
Well, they might as well as claim nye, 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 as being sick, because the truth is that when the police went to pick up Masimba, he goes to a police station where he meets psychiatrists, right? They will automatically send him to a mental home where he gets assessed within 24 hours. And if he's comprehensive in the way he's speaking, they will discharge him. You see, so it's different from Facebook psychologist and psychiatrist. So it's either Masimba is manipulative to the system, that when he goes to them, he tells them that is very normal. And when it comes to us, he is abnormal according to the population of Zimbabwe, not forgetting nye, 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 nye.
All right, you got a point. And I have mine jiva. Muneta nezvei naye vamawere. Pamwe tingabatsirike. That's a question.
Well, I could answer to that. Mr. Mawere gives youth, the us 40-year-olds, and below, the platform, or not even 40-year-olds, but he just gives the public a platform to speak of how they truly feel about themselves or express themselves. That's how I look at it.
That's the second thing. I'm really troubled. I'm also sick and tired of listening and watching nonsense being played on air. It's free to air, but the content is what worries me. It affects all of us. And mind you, the problem is that we don't have a shared understanding of even what leadership is and is not, what sickness is and is not, what depression is and is not, and what a drug addict is and is not. I don't have the answers.
Well, does Mukoma Masimba understand what a drug addict is?
No, let's ask him, what is a drug addict? What does he look like?
That's what I'm asking Mukoma Masimba.
Well, my own definition, a drug addict, is like a way I cannot function without a drug. That's my own definition. I don't know about the professional or the standard definition.
So
okay, I'll give you a precise definition of drug addiction, right? That is a brain chemical imbalance. Okay, so everybody was born with the same rhythm. When you were born, you had a rhythm in your brain, like a heart rhythm, which was equal. But as you grew up with stress, addiction of shopping, addiction of eating, being heartbroken, that can make the rhythm of your brain chemicals have an imbalance. So the reason why people end up drinking alcohol on a daily basis or take drugs on a daily basis is because they're trying to restore those dopamines or endorphins. So it's basically a brain chemical imbalance. So most people end up going into alcohol. In Zimbabwe, it's mainly alcohol. When it comes to Europe, it's class A drugs, class B drugs, class C drugs, you name it. But if you look at it again, addiction is kind of widespread. It could be just purely shopping from Gucci or or what you call it, Louis Vuitton.
But what Mukoma Masimba says is precise, that you can't function without taking drugs.
I do very much understand what Mukoma Masimba is saying, that you can't function without taking drugs because the brain chemicals, they drop, right?
No,
So
I'm just
every
saying
day,
for the pedestrian, you have answered it the technical way.
yes,
And
so let's call them receptors, Mr. Mawere. Let's call them receptors. So those receptors, right, they drop every 24 hours, especially if they're induced by alcohol, drugs, stress, trauma for a long time. So with Masimba, he has to fill in with drugs so that the receptors can go to homeostasis like when you were born.
but thank you very much for the technical and practical explanation. Mkoa Masimba, can you function without the influence of drugs?
Yes, I can, but at this stage, right? The word drugs is a very broad term again. I would say the way they hit or their impact or their extreme, I'll put it at 5. Let's say the most dangerous drug, I'll put it 5. Then the list, which is like a marijuana ganja, I'll put it number 1. I think I'm now at number 1 because it's been like 3 weeks or so without going to number 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm doing well with number 1. After I cut down number 1, which is marijuana, then I'm gonna work on cigarettes. And cigarettes, I'm like 50% down. Beer, I'm 90% down at the moment. Yes, this whole week, beer.
So you
90% down.
you are taking responsibility for your own health.
Yes, and I'm also now eating hot foods. Like now, I'm managing to eat about 2 hot meals a day for the last 3
All right.
days. So I'm being overeating
So,
up here.
so you feel you are competent to deal with matters that arise. And so far, Sabrina, do you see any indication that the fear that people have is founded or not founded?
Well, what it is, it's rather confusing here because we hear Mukoma Masimba speaking of different topics, right? So, which kind of highlights induced psychosis. But if he's stable and aligned to his conversation, then people can understand what he's saying. But for the past 1 week, when I speak to him on WhatsApp, I can comprehend what he's saying. But when I speak to him on social media, I can't comprehend. But right now, I can comprehend what he is saying. So all I can say or ask Mukoma Masimba is, Mukoma Masimba, do you think you've got mental problems or mental challenges?
I don't think I know. What I know, I'm mentally fit according to a psychiatrist. Mr. Mawe, I'll give you the V11 and keep it. Right? Whoever wants it, there's a value on that V11. There's a challenge with
So, like what
Zimbabwe.
I said, Mukoma Masimba, like what I said, right? we need to focus at the brain chemicals in the brain, that when you were a child, you were born with 100% dopamine, endorphins. This is why you see young children below the age of 3 years, they play like they're crazy, because your body can naturally produce drugs on its own. But as you grow up, you can have personal problems. It could be immigration, it could be just heartbreak, separated from your beloved one. It could be bereavement, it could be all sorts of things we meet in life. It could be shopping, it could be addiction to money. So the receptors, they kind of flatten. So when you drink alcohol and take drugs, you're trying to replace the receptors you were born with when you were young, right? But these receptors now can never come back to as when you were young, to play like you've got mental problems at the age of 3 years, which you do mirror and all that. Yeah. So the only way to actually balance these brain chemical imbalances is a form of a routine exercise. And then, so let's say you've got a routine of exercise and nutrition. What you eat is who you are. So, in a week, right? If you exercise, let's say for people who have started off once a week, right? The receptors, they grow, but then they don't touch, they drop. And then the next week they touch again, they drop. And then if you exercise twice a week, they touch. And then 3 weeks, they touch. 6 weeks following a tailored regime, those receptors, without drinking alcohol, without taking drugs, those receptors, they're replaced back as to when you were in childhood. So you don't need alcohol, you don't need drugs, you've got a natural life, a highness. But it is a very, very hard journey to travel, especially if you've been addicted to something which makes you temporarily sane.
So the issue that is there is we have the person, the subject, Mukoma Masimba. So he is saying he's fit and well. So we take you on that. I think we can traverse. I'm not a doctor, so I will not pretend to go further than that.
I'll just cut it short before we move on to Mukoma Masimba's book, right? Because I believe Mukoma Masimba's mental challenges are different from his book and the plight he's trying to show Zimbabweans, right? All I can say to you, Mukoma Masimba, is that when they talk about fasting, they're not necessarily talking about fasting from food, but they're telling you how to fast from what you really love the most. So if you're a sex addict to your wife, or you have sex to your wife every time, or your husband, yeah, you must fast on that for 40 days or whatever days you put upon yourself. And it is the pain that comes with fasting that unleashes the devil in you, right? So this is where fasting originates from as well. When people fast, trust me, if you fast for 48 hours, you'll be speaking in tongues, you'll be speaking in another language, because the body will be just pushing you and telling you, go and eat food, stop fasting your God, go and eat food. It's a challenge, it's a trial, it's a tribulation that you have to fight mentally. But the way you can fight it mentally is to put a plan in place, which is your nutrition, your social life, and your physical activities.
Powerful.
Yeah, and that's powerful, Sabrina. We will make you Dr. Phil in our shows.
Yeah. Why not?
And
Why not?
let's build from there. So now getting
Yes.
back to Mukoma Masimba, what is this issue about Corona and you? What is your relationship and where does Zimbabwe come in? Where do you come in?
Yeah, ipapo Mr. manje ndipane nyaya manje. Yo, tuzosvika patanga. You see, Mr. Moire, this go deeper. Yakatanga, I think 2 years ago. Zvakangotanga sefun. Just fun. Takangota zviwindi so kuti apa ini soona kwangu so. Then this go deeper manje. Ndio yandipinza kupi? Kumroad. Ndio yandipinza futi mudragi manje. Ndio yandipinza mbanje. Ndio yandipinza futi mufodya manje. Problem ndini, but too much kuyatsogara pasi kuti kasi uyu seyadai. I disagree. Brain dzacho dzazanya kuita too much manje. Then mbanje zvainoita kwandiri nini inokupa zvinonzi inokusimbisa so kuti bo but time is moving utovarairwa so right unombopinda mune inonzi
Mukoma Masimba, answer the question about coronavirus.
Sabina, maybe you're not aware of this platform. Ndakatokumbira munhu anenge achindihosta ndichitaura naye ndichibudisa shungu dzangu wamawere wakabvuma. Saka rega nditi atsotaura Sabina zviri pamwe pangu zvibude. Ndakada kundidzigaga Sabina tiwirirane manje.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Because wamawere pandiri panapa I'm taking him like a friend, a buddy, someone where I can talk to. Right? Ndosaka kuma live walks andiona. Can you see I'm also trying to cut down myself? Ndipo focus ni recovery yangu. Ndichitaona mdara wangu panapa ndikunyora bhuku rangu. Achindibatsira kuti achindigaida chikurukura. So this corona mawere, go deeper. Papfungwa dze go deeper man. This is the thing now mawere. I want you to listen carefully here. Inini I realize a mistake yangu. Ndapera ndaparara handisi kudya ndosera ndipere. Then pane nyaya ndakambotaura mawere nyaya HIV. Right? That story. Ndakamboitaura kudhara. Ndakamboti kutamba. Ndakamboitaura futi ndati kutamba. Ndakazoitaura kwamuri mawere futi mini. Mawere, I'm HIV positive. I have the V11. Chakupai. Ndapedza kudaro ndakati mawere. Ndozvandataura. Ndakabudisa tumagaba ndakati muZimbabwe anobhiliva nokuona. Kwete zvaanoziva. So ndiri positive mawere. V11 ndakuri positive ndinaro but iri aiwe rine value ndoritengesa iri. Ndakarisa pa $1,000. Kuti kana chiyazoda according to Mukoma Masimba I'm HIV positive. That's according to me. If you want the V11, if you want to come to my personal, I offer $1,000 mawere V11 ndangwe HIV. Resulting what doctor jajayo. $1,000. River auction iri. Why nchidara mawere? MuZimbabwe my agenda mawere no. Yandakaenda panapa. Ndekuti sawira wangu ndakapedza nguwa ndichifighta for Zimbabweans. Then later I realized Zimbabwe does not exist. So buru ndapfura nepano because inini mai vangu ndinoziva pavari. My mother is just a phone call away. But mai vangu chandinoziva chinhu one. She knows kuti mwana wangu uyu kubva ndichimubara mwana munhu wevanhu amawere. Do you know mawere bhururu ndiri mudiki ndiri kuma grade 1, 2, 3. My best friend ainzi Patrick Muderere. Mwana anga akakura upenyu hwekuti mai vake vairoja 2 houses away, 1 room. Nemwana wavo Patrick nevana vavo 3. Isi kubva kuti atichika tuckshop. Saka Patrick ndakabva ndapinda naye same class. Takatamba tese mawere aitogara mumba kwedu tachichika tese. Sokuti Patrick mawere hama dzangu dzese nazi where is Patrick? So mai wangu knows kuti read out ane strength 1 ane weakness 1. Anoda vanhu. Kana achinge ada vanhu anobva kuita extreme which becomes a weakness. So kune vanhu vakawanda vanodiagnoswa depression. The most important thing according to my story ndiri panapa, the only best way to recover if you want to try by yourself, you look for someone who's like a friend or a mentor and a value to you. Ndine my friends akawanda na Sabina. But pa stage andiri ati ndotaka mudara wangu. Ndiri kwa mudara wangu ndodeza Sabina no yapanapa. Ko tiri tuna Sabina tinotara nyaya dzakawanda kuti pesa nyaya dzana stand up ndati para mudara padifane para noti mudara wanga nenguwa yake. That's why I'm here mudara. Just a place where I pour my heart out. Muyatso kundinzwisisa pabhuku rangu. Saka mawere ndaigona kungodzima foni ndofonera mai vangu kuti mama, I'm sorry, I wasted time on Facebook. Samai vakandibereka. My mother has been crying from day one. Ndini mwana anga musikanzwa mumuri medu yese. Saka kwandiri wamawereka, I can say ndiri mwana wekutika ndiri nini stubborn. But stubborn wangu manje mai wangu ndiza chinhu kuti ukona read out aita something pane chaari kuda kuachieva, pane chaachaburitsa papapa. My stubborn mawere ndinogona kukutuka mawere, ndakutuka iwe ndokukutuka murudo mukukushepa ina ndikurasi. And for sure mai wangu anotoziva izvozvo. So ndozvo zvinondipa zviwinzo kuti I know my mother knows it, mwana wavo zvese zvaita izvi ma mistakes, but haana kuita kuda kuonererwa kuda kudii. Aita ane reason yekuti iwo vari kumusekera iye vavavo anogona kuvanyangira uchitanga kuvabata one by one kuti iwewe wadzidzei panyaya yangu iyi. Ndiri munhu kuti ndakazvipira amawere to be an example by any situation makuriro angu. So depression kana uchinge waidiagnoswa, the most important thing is to know kuti chii chakakuisa mudepression. Who are you? Saka mawere pandakazvibvunza mubvunzo kuti who are you, wakandibvunza mubvunzo ndakati mawere, I am just Mukoma Masimba. Ukanditi saka iwe ukuda kuachievei? Ndi mawere, here I just want to have someone to talk to. Right? I choose you my friend because ndine some lessons ndada kukuudza zvakambondifundisa ndikaramba. But these lessons kunditaura shamwari dzangu kuti there's nothing called Zimbabwe. Ati patibata hondo panapo. Kundivataurira kuti there's nothing called Zimbabwe banda hondo. Kundivaudza kuti kupera kwese kwandaita kwese zvese izvi ini ndakaita mistake. Inini I blame myself. I don't blame anyone. Yekupedza nguva yese ndichifaitira Zimbabweans. And I discovered that does not exist. Ne-corona mawere iyi, the whole world has become one. Tapa corona manje. Mawere kani bongwa mvura sawira.
All right.
All right. Corona manje.
All right.
Okay, mdara wangu. Okay.
All right. So Benadi, what is your take?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just making coffee myself, but you asked Masimba about coronavirus, but I understand the way we Africans have conversations is that when you asked of a question, you answer in a paragraph. So I think Mukoma Masimba is going to come and explain what he was talking about coronavirus, but the rest I had was just growing into the storyline. So I haven't had much. So I'll just wait for him again to come and explain about Corona.
Yeah, I think sometimes we don't have a background. We don't have a background. Sometimes we speak without understanding a foundation. What I've learned is that even the biggest house starts as an idea. And the problems are what keeps us going. That even the business person is just a problem solver. This morning, we were talking to somebody in Pakistan and talking about an e-commerce platform that allows people to use a multi-vendor platform so that they can do trading even from home. Has it ever occurred to you that a person like Mukoma Masimba could actually have even 50 people pay for his time, but he doesn't have a gateway other than free platforms like Facebook? To us, it's free, but the algorithm is not free because there is a business model.
What it is, Mr. Mawere, like you mentioned before, and you said we must. Actually, you didn't mention it, but Mukoma Masimba mentioned that we must find the root problem. Once we find the root problem, we fix it, and then everything you're saying becomes reality.
But what is the problem that you want to fix?
That's what we're about to find out from Mukoma Masimba.
No, he's talking about helping others
Okay, he's back again.
And he's got a okay. He said he's got a solution to corona. Let's go up. Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
Mukoma Masimba, are you back? Have you drunk? Hello, he's not speaking.
Maybe it's just his internet or Wi-Fi.
Yep. Okay, so let's wait until he comes back.
Yeah. So there is still some distorted kind of thinking.
No, I'm saying is for now, let's just play dumb, because we are not here as therapists. There are many people.
I am myself, and I'm actually insured for it too.
No, I'm saying is if you are, let's have a show for therapy.
Yes.
Where we put Mukoma Masimba under cross-examination, under a test. When he just wanted to talk about this corona, let's hear from him.
Yes, because a lot of people want to get to the bottom of what's happening to Masimba. So the quicker we put it close to it, the better for the community.
Do you think we could ever reach a finality when people have made a conclusion?
Oh, yes, we could, because the police have discharged him and the hospital, and it's evident.
So if they have done their job and they're trying to do so, what is left for us to do?
That means we can still give him a platform as a normal person, and he expresses what he's thinking. And if we have to object, we object. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't give him a platform.
So now we can see that he's taking responsibility. First is an acknowledgement that there is a problem that he has to fix. That marijuana is a problem.
Yes.
Cigarettes are a problem. Beer is a problem. So when we deal with all that.
Well, Mr. Mawere, it might not be a problem, but it might be a substitute. The problem is the origin.
Okay, and how do we get Pamavambo?
Well, it's just come off. So, which means maybe we might have to cut off ourselves, because we have to ask him the origin. I have an origin of my own stress. So once you accept the origin, you know how to fix yourself.
All right.
So if he's got an origin of his own stress, it could be a heartbreak. Yeah. The last time I spoke to him, he said he had a heartbreak from his girlfriend, who a lot of people want to identify as Jane, but I know her name is Sibo. Right? So when Masimba told me he's got a heartbreak, do you know what it actually means in our own terms, Mr. Mawere? A heartbreak, right? When you see a sign of a heartbreak, it's like a red heart broken into half. But that is a clear explanation of a heart attack. All right? So having a heartbreak in life, you could have a heartbreak with almost anything. Yeah, it can actually give you a heart attack. So this is why when we had puppy loves, yeah, and we got heartbroken, we felt it in the heart. And I think some people can actually understand me here, that if you've been dumped by your girlfriend or your boyfriend, or even if your mother dies or there's a bereavement in your family, your heart breaks to a point that you could have a heart attack. So that's what Mukoma Masimba explained to me. And that alone can induce blood pressure. That alone can stop the oxygen from moving to the brain. So somebody starts hallucinating. I think it's back now.
Okay. So let's hear from him if he's back. Is he back?
Mukoma Masimba? Okay, you
Yeah.
Yes,
have
I'm
to-
back, Mr. Mwere.
No, it's
Yeah,
your phone.
I'm back.
I was telling
Yes.
Mr. Mawere that you speak like
Okay, Mr. Mawere.
like an African, yeah. When you ask the conversation, you go behind the bushes and you just don't say it straight up. You see, so I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
All right. Submit.
So I hope
Yeah,
takuzwanana
yeah,
people even
yeah, you
Sabina
can
mai
go ahead.
pakuti panapa ndakatokumbira is a place yekungoti ndipotana mdara wangu saka some people are waiting for the book, you see mdara, but the book is already in session. This is the book, can you see kuti ndakati ndiri kunyora bhuku rangu umwe munhu akatomira achiti Masimba akagara pasi nepen nepaper ozotsvaga publisher. No, this is the book, so you have to be here tichifamba tese. So depression number 1, Mr. Mawere, chandakadzidza inini kunzi une depression kwandiri hazvina zvazvaireva. It ndakangonzi depression zvinorevei. Doctors munhu akandidhiagnosa psychiatrist une depression, right? Asi depression yako iyi iri kukonzerwa nehobby yako nepassion yako inova social media, right? Saka wakwanisa kushanda nesocial media yako wakaredusa and focus on other things. Even mukadzi wako akagara panapo, she's gonna be happy, right? So my mistakes angu maji Mr. Mwere andinowa andaka-pick up kutadza kubalancisa time, kutadza kuziva the importance of time. Some people are making money on Facebook, right? And that's good. But inini, my agenda is different. My agenda is to socialize and to make sure at least ndadzidzawo ndachinjawo upenyu hwa someone. That's what my agenda is, not to make money. But again now, Mr. Mawere, now that's where you come now in now. But mpana wami, there's what I call value for value. Even usukuratidzika zvakanaka utano hwadona mpana wami, you can still have value in that. Mawere, I found value in my story yekuti wakomana you're talking to someone anga amudrug. You're talking to someone else that drug bari zvino ndawina. So far ndakawina nearly 3 weeks. Ndapamba anje apa pada kushanda upa ndiri kuwina futi. Ndapa cigarettes. Then kazhinji ukanzwa munhu achiti ndiri depressed, kumbira based from a story, try to say how can I help you. Don't rush to say namata fundira mai wako idya dai wadai. Try to follow behind. Ipapo ndakapika a big mistake here. Those people want to help, right? Try to ask, what can I do for you? That's a very important question. Mukamanya, some people already try my GoFund. Tobatsira Mukoma Masimba say, bari pa road, don't rush. Regai Mukoma Masimba kutaurira what help do I need from you? Inini sa Mukoma Masimba pandakaya pa Mawere nchiti mdara. Last year I was diagnosed depression. Andaiziva zvinorevei. Ndakaiwandisa mudoro. Then doro rakandikurira ndakaenda mufodya. Fodya ikandikurira. Depression ichingori project. Right? Fodya yandikurira ndaenda pai mumbanje. Mbanje yandikurira ndapinda madrugs. Madrugs yandikurira ndapinda munotyisa mukatikati napinda. Ndaimomo ndakaona zvandaita kuti maiwe ndapera. Ndakazoona hawo. Ndakapiwa platform kwa Sisimele Diaries. Sisimele ndichivanetsa kuti Mele atati hanzvadzi maitire ako haasi kufita zvatakuita uko. Post akabva tese kumvenge. Ndichiti kwainini mukuda kundishora seko. Ndakapiwa show paSisimele. Vakomana vanhu vakapopota mudhara. Kuti nhai ndochii chaitwa panapa ichi. Saka vanhu kupopota kwavakaita kwandiri nini ndakadzwa ngendokurwa neshame kunzi waita musikanzwa iwe mwana mudiki. Ndakabva ndapepuwa kuti chii zvinoita panapa. The show was good.
I think you're right.
Sabina, man.
Assessment.
Sabina,
I think you
man.
got
Sabina.
traumatized.
Sabina, man.
Sorry.
Get away, man. Sabina. Ha! Chigwe. My Mandela. What's wrong with you? This is a God deeper session of Tumamweri. Okay? When you mean business, I'm the boss. I'm in charge. Okay? Sabina. Iwe?
Okay, I hear you.
Thank you. Iwe? You see, God deeper in this case,
Mr. Mawera, I don't know if you want to say something about it because I don't know if you want to put something into it.
Yeah, I think let's give him a chance to download. And
Hello?
hear his side of the story, because I'm hearing something that is talking again. So we think maybe Sabrina, have you not caused him to smoke?
Well, it can happen. It can happen because my brain chemicals are at a speed of light. So if anyone frustrates you, because
I'm in the midst of connecting the dots so that I can get into the highway.
Okay.
So let us Mukoma Masimba.
Yes, Mr. Moere.
Okay, can we resume? We're on pause.
Yes, let's resume. So now, coronavirus, Mr. Moere. Go deeper in. Why ndiri kuti nini I spirit? It simply shows ifungwa zangu. I think I was born for a purpose. Right? Why ndiri kudaro? When am I tapa go deeper, manji? And I hope Sabina, please don't disturb. Okay, I don't want to go emotional. Please, okay? I'm talking to my friend here, Mr. Mawere. Please. Mr. Mawere is wepunga zangu kwa zawa manji. Ndaona ndamukuri chitere Mr. Mawere. Ini ndashika panapa. Vesa wali panapa tazivana because my agenda was simple. I was fighting for Zimbabwe. Right? Mr. Mawere, my mother knows my weakness, my strength. I'll give you an example. My mother is watching. Mama, do you remember the last time in New Zealand, sometime this year, mama wakanzwa nimurora wakuda mwanonyanidza agara marodi asi kana pano achanye kuti akanoswera pamba. Mama kuti ayo ngambuya kuno mchembere panenda kuna mchembere kuti mumuzanga kune muningi wangu aripo kumpano wangu aripo. Ndasvika kuya, right? Kwanga kune church. My mother is a Seventh-day Adventist. Is a staunch, devoted SDA. Kwanga kune conference. Takarwa mota about 400 kilometers. Tasvika pa conference inini na moms nemfana. Pa time kunzi ma visitor panatosumudza maoko. Mama wangu munoziva. Asi mndaraka. My name is Simba. I'm coming from Australia. I come from Zimbabwe. If you go on Facebook, you look for Mukoma Masimba. I'm happy to be here. Wakomana. Amen. We can see you. You're a big person. Moms yangu yakamenya mdara. Akati moms wamenya tinaita sasa mai nitaulisa pana. Tikobuda mchechi moms ne mwana wangu unobhabarika. Ungobha ni chirwere chako chekutaurisa kuzhangandira ndigopopotero mberi on bebe. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sabina Riperi.
Yeah, she's around.
Anyway, can you see mdara moms yangu chitika mwana wangu zira rako rauri kuzhangandira kwako apa na murisa ronoona pachecho unosa kuti kuna Simba visitor from Australia. Moms yangu yakata kunditsura pana yeye vanhu vakari pe ku Zimbabwe papa vakatoti daidza kusadza kuti mune apa tende redu pana pa 27 tati moms daidza kusadza uko asi nei mwana wangu augona kugadzika nawo here oya kuno kuti timbokumba utano hwako pachimuka makisa wachinibikira porridge rezviyo chibikirwa sadza wakubhoda zvekubhodai takatozoinvita kumukadzi kuti uya kumba kumpana wangu mpano wakati baba pangu pasira babosika muzimba never mama asi mwana wenyu akunza vanhu futi panapa antidize vanhu ndine shamwari dzangu mndara ndiri kuNew Zealand koko ndatora mota yemunin'ina wangu kumapurazi kaoneka ari pano ndambopinda mutauni ati agambotenga mabhiya ndati asi mabhiya anatenga aya zvandinoita inini ndakusvika padhuze nepamba ndichatanga kumwa ndasvika padhuze nepapurazi because drink driving haina kunaka mudhara ndakasvika just a kilometer ndasvika padheni papurazi kune wakati zii ndakapaka mota ndakadaura mabhiya yangu chirwa music nchitamba kune foni yangu nchitamba nemavhidhiyo ana izalo pafacebook chichi ndakapedza crate race from 6 p.m. up to 2 am doresi rapera ndadhakwa manje ndarwa mota svika padheni volume full blast mumziya ko mwana wangu chira ta mama nditwa Mukoma Masimba ndita go deeper mama wana go deeper inini but asi mamhepo richiko kuti mama inodzi go deeper iyo mama iyo inotwasanudza mama iyo ndara chokwadi mama nyika mazara mbafa unei nazo kuti mama zvonderwadza kuti unobirwa ndakatarisa. So my mother knows me. To those people don't know, she knows me, right? So naigona kudzima kamera Mr. Mawere ndoti mama ndiregerereyo mukadzi wangu andidungepo Mr. Mawere ndine mukadzi akanaka chose saka ndobati I was born for a purpose. Makaona mukadzi wangu mudhara munovhunduka mudhara kamwana kaka kajena kanonzi kanjiva ndakachinja zita kakunzi kanjiva mazuva mudhara haataure apopota anongoti simba mani mudhara ndakaita gore rese ndakagara padeni after depression kana ndichaenda kana kubasa ndine depression tobatiza ndakasangana free from Uganda maona manje mudhara zvinoitika manje ya dara vawereka muupenyu ndinodza zvakawanda apa ndiri padheni ndakusvika ndakagara mota mukadzi ari kubasa naite anoshanda lesari kuti ane shift aita zvekuti ane agents and ari kuita zvema home visit kuno zvetherapy chichi right but sima tinika 4 hour shift up kuti handei orowa mota mukadzi Frank agara back seat titakatamira doro chiti papa uba ndiri kuziva zvamunoda uba nditengera doro redu taita kana zuva rese tine mukadzi achishanda achimwa doro chakatyora zviri motikana Frank tichara nyaya. Can you see ndine another weakness my mother anoziya kuda kutandara tasikakushangandira kaya. You see, so when you are told to be depressed, try to pick up with who are you, what are your weaknesses. I want to hear from people like your mom, be it your brother, be it people who are too close to you. My weaknesses angu ini mdara kuda kubatsira kuda munhu nemoyo wangu wose hakuna kushata but pane kuda kunozosvika pakukunyudza like munhu ari kunyura uda kubatsira yet iwe wacho agone kuswima wopinda mumvura manyura mese manje maona manje ndo zvandakadiscover. From there pagod deep I started to do tough love. Listen mnani example aliti ndashaya basa ndakaomerwa ndoti hey kuti kubatsire what can you do because everyone's looking for a job. What can you do chiri unique. So after this go deeper movement mdara ku Zimbabwe I identified the challenge yange yapo ndiye kuti nema kumaprofita kunganga. So I came attacking them very harsh. That's go deeper. It's spot on, very spot on. Then people like Sekuru Banda, I'm told, I want a video yacho taking advantage of my story, of my book. Nilipano kunyora book rangu nini, showing you Zimbabweans.
Makaroyu wana Sekuru Banda imimi taura chokwadi. It's time you apologize.
No, I don't. Dinoramba, I deny, and I hope Mama Tilda vachanipa mukana wekutaura on my side of the story. Don't take advantage yemwana ari kukushowai my mistakes akasangana muupenyu hoping kuti ingava a lesson to someone, but I'm doing this for myself. The purpose andinayo, I'm on a journey to look for my mother. This is broader to say I'm looking for my mother. Some people, they will say, call your mother. I can call my mother, but I'm simply saying my mother is Zimbabwe. That's my mother. Kalapa go deeper. Right? Hey, Sabina, take off. Thank God. Calm down. Thank God. Go deeper.
Inini Mr. Mawereka, ndoda ngoti Mukoma Masimba vakateerera. I just want to play an audio yavakambonditumidzira. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ndiri kutsvaga audio yacho, munhu wacho ungokuruma ka saka hey.
Kuruma mama.
Okay, hold on please. Let me just play this. Hold on.
kadzoka futi kamukoma Masimba. Kadzoka mugeme.
Hold on.
Isisi meridisekuru katerera vari kutaura vari kuuzi. Makati isisi meridisekuru katerera vari kutaura vari kuZimbabwe. Ndimuri kudzidzira basa. Ndakashamisika zvikuru. Musi wechishanu pana mukadzi aichema ari kuAmerica achitaura kuti Mukoma Masimba vanorwara. Haana kunyatsotsanangura zvakanaka, saka akandifonera throughout the night kuti Mukoma Masimba vanorwara. Saka ini sekuru katerera ndaidawo kuedza kuti ndibatsire dambudziko iroro rakawira sengi uyu Masimba. Ndo zvandiri kutaura mukati mano mangwanani chete ndinoitwa sekuru katerera. Tate.
Okay, Mukoma Masimba, could you care to explain what that treaty is all about?
Thank you very much, Sabina. Mr. Mawere, pana someone, pana a certain, pana a page, Sisimeli Diaries, community page, yakatangwa na Sisimeli, ari well known by Facebook panapa. I'm also a member, Ikoko. I was also actually an active member in that community page, right? Ndo page yakani inspire kuti ndikwanise kubuda pachina kuti vakomana ndiregererei. I need to fix up my health, my habits, myself, my personal hygiene. I also want to be like you, my diaries. So I think panda but when we go deep kugara mu road uya, right? Pani I think akabata sekuru katerere. Achiti ndiri member kwa Sisimeli Diaries kwata dambudziko ra Mukoma Masimba. Then sekuru katerera vanonzwa vakaruwa hakata dzawo dzakaloketa kwandinobva unobva mai wangu, and I totally agree with that hakata. So sekuru katerera promised that you can take me home. I said, thank you, go ahead, take me home sekuru, ini ndiri pano for my own agendas. Saka tane vanhu tu vari kuclasha nawo. Sekuru Banda ndakaroya Masimba, sekuru katerera wants to take me home. Ndainonzi go deeper na Mukoma Masimba vahedana musoro wega manje vatunganga dzacho hombe. Let's go, game on. Take me home sekuru katerere, sekuru Banda rambai makandiroya. Let's see who's powerful there now. I'm just on a mission. I'm looking for my mother. That's my explanation there.
When you say you're looking for your mother, which mother is this?
My mother is simply Zimbabwe, which does not exist. But this is a storyline. So you have to just watch the series, the end of it. Lessons, lots. As I'll be talking in the wrong panap. So you're going to be repeating all those things. Remember, so far I mentioned the word I. Zimbabwe are going to use the word I. I. When I say I'm in charge, I'm the boss. Most people sometimes I'm being arrogant, but I'm simply saying I have an idea of use to fix my depressions by people like you, Mr. Mawere. So it's therapy. Don't rush kuda kundibatsira kutaka kufundira na mai vangu. Follow the person and dambudziko. I'm above 18.
Urikuona kuti zvinezvi hauchapenga kutaura kuti Mr. Mawere, because for the past 3 days wangochiti weshamwari yangu Mawere, and I think brain dzako I don't know, did vakakubaya nejection here kana kuti vakakupa medication?
Again, Sabina, I'll repeat. You see, one thing I like about myself, I know what I talk, I know what I say, right? Mawere, I approached him here and I got shamwari na uya shamwari. Okay, remember that, Mr. Mawere? That call?
Okay,
I'm lost.
Masimba, what is the objective?
Sabina.
What is the objective of your story?
It's simple. I'm just sharing my mistakes. Andaka one disa, deny the word depression. I mentioned a beer, I mentioned cigarettes, I mentioned habits.
But you just accepted earlier on that you had depression.
Accepting depression, depression are two different things. A doctor can say, I'm depressed. Do you understand? I say, yes, I understand. Because it took me 1 year to do this. I'm here now.
I don't think it took you 1 year. I think it took you up to like 6 hours, about 3 hours ago when I explained to you what depression is. I don't think your doctor has got time to explain to you on a class level to say those are dopamines and whatever, brain chemicals, Masimba. Saka, are you depressed? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm depressed. Severely
Do you
depressed.
now understand what depression is?
Yes, I do.
What is depression?
To me, it means andichatoziva zvokuita ndapererwawo.
Saka, it means you were not listening to what I was saying. Basically, I was wasting my time.
You're not wasting your time. It's a lesson. Sometimes, no matter how much you can explain what is depression as a doctor or as a friend or whatever, it will take, it's up to that person or anozvinzwisa when. Indakazvinzwisa some few days ago. Pandakafundira mawere kuti what is depression?
Okay, can you please share with us, what depression is? Thanks.
Depression simply means that moment when you are not doing what you have been doing before. For example, kugeza. Madyiro andaita chikafu akachinja. Kugeza kwangu akachinja. Personal hygiene yangu yakachinja. My attention to my wife yakachinja. So that shows something wrong. That was depression.
And
That's my definition.
what is wrong? There's something which is wrong. What is it?
Yangu iri very inobata financial abuse, inobata emotional abuse. Pa financial abuse ndopandakanyota maproblems akawanda. Abusing mari pamba. You through trying to build up a business.
And how did I round up as kuti chinonzi chi?
I don't speak for you, Sabina. Speak for yourself. How did you round up?
I said it's a form of it's a form of stress. Okay, which are your receptors, your brain chemicals. It's like if part of your brain is traumatized by finance, immigration, relationship, leaving your own country, it leaves a dent in your brain. So this is where the habit of being a drug addict comes in, because you're trying to fill that void by smoking, taking drugs, alcohol, excessive obsession to shopping, and etc. Saka iwewe, depression, it's good that you've accepted it, but now I'm explaining to you in simplex form that it is a brain chemical imbalance. It doesn't matter how it is dropped. So your target is to make those receptors come back to and restore them to when you were a child.
Powerful. Powerful.
Saka zvese izvi zvandakachitaura wangu usiri kuzviteerera basically.
Okay, Sabina. Hello?
Saka, it can cause you hallucinations, right? The brain chemical imbalance, because it's also coming from your bloodstream, concentrating on the food you're eating and the exercising you're doing to provoke the nutrients which travel and the hormones which travel to your brain. Saka,
thank you, Sabina.
if you starve those things, so let's say if you're a drug addict, you're just taking drugs, you're not drinking water, you're not eating, so it means your body, fuel. Saka, your brain starts being dehydrated, you start hallucinating. Saka, when you come on Facebook and start saying you're writing your book, you're talking about prophet so and so, you're talking about, and you're not going to a conclusion of each topic, it makes us think that you've got distorted, induced psychosis.
Okay, thank you, Sabina. Let me talk to Shamwari Mawere. Sawira Mawere. Right. So ndo zvinoitika nepfungwa dzegodhipa Sawira. Like for example, ninye corona yandibvunze. At the moment, Godhipa na Mukoma Masimba in a solution corona. Right? But vamwe vangu vandotamba nawo pa Facebook apapa. I have to find a way. Can you see Mawere? Panobva pressure acho. I have to find a way to demystify the Zimbabwe in corona in a solution to corona. Right? The only thing I can do, Mawere, like what I said, in Indian journey yangu, I'm looking for my mother. Right? So what I need right now, Java, ndakabata Java ndasvika pana mai vangu. Who's my mother? My mother is Zimbabwe. Java ndakumutaura kuti Java ndine hope dzandinadzo ndikadudzira hope dzangu ukadzibvuma Java pamberi paMwari, that makes God deeper than Mukoma Masimba, mutumwa weZimbabwe, right? Akadziramba Java again, God deeper than Mukoma Masimba, it's spot on. What's going to happen there, I don't know. Like what I said to him, all I have just a phone and an idea. Ibhuku rangu randikunyora nchifamba kudai. Unoti kudisa wira.
Let's deal with the first one, the corona issue. Where are we?
Corona mawere pari very simple. Business andaona pandagara mu road since ndabuda padeni. Even kuno ku Australia kwacho. They are confused. They say lockdown. I gave you a very good example. Ndakaita pa hospital apa. Right? Ndagara mu road kudaro. Another African woman, oti Simba, she's like a friend. Awanga gari mu road andi yekumba. Dotoro neswa pamba. Denda pamba papa. The first thing I did was to do a video ndire pamba ndakaswa kumbeko kuda kutenda again vema diaries kana sisi mele vakamira. Right? Nana sisi Gladys want another chance where I want to say thank you to you. Mazimbabwe zakamira kunwanda ndiraro. Kundakara pa road for sure. I did it. Right? Ndasvika pamba papa. Ndoita video yangu kuti vakomana ini ndine nyaya dzangu dzandinadzo. See. Mundibatira kwa mawere. Kuzwa mawere kokoko ndakunyora bhuku rangu. Ndalonga chitara naye achindibatsira pakuti my life ndakuma reduce ndiri ndega ndinokundikana. Asi ndakaenda kwa mudara wangu uko. Ndinopedza shungu dzangu chitara naye kuzi mudara wangu. Right? Saka ndiri pano. So this is more like therapy as well. It's also a lesson yekushowa kuti ndikuzipa indicators because mudara wangu nasi ndaita so. Am I improving? People like Anna Sabina also watching. So this is about me sharing a story on my way to my mother. Who is my mother? There comes Mukoma
Masimba.
Sabina, man. Sabina.
Why?
Can you see? Sabina, this is 1 a.m.
Why
Sabina. Can you see? It's 1 a.m. Diripa road, dabuda panzi, inside rewana noise. Vanofundira mapurisa pana rukuta noise panzi. Ndotorwa futi, ndoswa hospital, ndodzoka futi mangwana panapa. Usadaro kani. Ndakanitora neshamwari yangu. Ndakupa nguva yako. Come on man Sabina. Samawere mene mbotora short break. Munhu mutema hanzwisise. Ingwa yangu neshamwari yangu. Iwo uri shamwari yangu ndakunzwa panapa. Panapa ndiye pangu. I am the boss. I'm in control. Let me talk to my friend. Sabina.
Okay, chinua mvurapo. Mr. Mawere, kutara chopadika muri munhu mukuru. Inini handidi kuwestera nguva yenyu, okay? And okay. I do apologize and thank you very much for giving us a platform, knowing what type of a person you represent in the community. But this clearly explains that the Zimbabwean life matters, if at all lives matters. Mukoma Masimba, I think, is just a failed asylum seeker who is using any means, to catch the attention of the immigration. And this is what is showing kuti children of Zimbabwe are suffering, and they are resulting to so many resorts or chirungujocha kundipiringisha. But again, vana veZimbabwe vari kutambura to a level yekuti they can't speak up because they're too embarrassed to speak up. Speaking up in terms of immigration victims, right? It's as embarrassing as saying you're black in 1975. Saka Mukoma Masimba should stop playing around with us and tell us the truth. Could listen, ndakauya kuno for greener pastures. These greener pastures zvaramba pakusvika kuti visa rangu pamwe rakakatwa, because I remember kuti visa akaendeswa kuZambia kutaura kuti Mukoma Masimba has no right to apply for his immigration status in Australia. What is the quickest alternative? Is to pretend mental. What pretend that with a mental we are refusing help because you know If you get help, you'll be all right. The government will say, you're okay now. Find a room for yourself. Saka Masimba is catching at least 4 birds with one stone. One, getting his immigration sorted with the video V11, getting his housing sorted, and showing us the plight of being a Zimbabwean. Saka taura chokwadi, the origin of your problem.
Do you have any knowledge of what you are talking?
I extremely have a vast knowledge. I have a vast knowledge of what I'm saying. Uyu nyaya yake yekuti bhuku yaari kutaura ka dai atopinda neyekuti Zimbabwe life matters, kuti we are stranded in this diaspora. 4 million people of us. If Masimba is a spokesperson on Facebook and is a little bit big, what about those who are under him? Children of Zimbabwe are committing suicide, not communing, but committing suicide all over the globe, which is not being talked about. Saka Masimba, it's high time Masimba.
Okay, let's just deal with. Did you see the police? If he had immigration papers or problems, why would they take him to a hospital and release him?
Yes, because they can see the problems that Zimbabwe is going through on YouTube, on mainstream news. So maybe there is a policy there to say we can't deport Zimbabweans at the moment. But the truth is they're not giving Zimbabweans their immigration papers. What is making people mental in diaspora in terms of even South Africa, Toya Kwese, just outside Zimbabwe, is immigration. Full stop. And vanhu don't want to accept kuti it's immigration because kutyaka kuenda kunana Australia home office tichinoclaima kuti this is psychological slavery. Kutya kuenda ku-American immigration tichinoclaima kuti this is too much. Saka kutya kuenda ku-UK home office tichinoclaima kuti aiwa friyai maZimbabweans inga makambouyawo kuZimbabwe sema-Rhodesians. Kutya chirwere chinonyadzisa ichi amawere.
Let's ask Mukoma Masimba. There's an allegation you are making. Mukoma Masimba, do you have an immigration issue with the government of Australia? Is gone.
Saka, like I said, for some of us, we had to stay at least 17 years away from our own people. That's okay.
Let's get he's back now. Let's get Mukoma Masimba. There's an allegation made that you have immigration issues, and that's why you are mentally unstable, depressed, or whatever term they can use.
I've been an Australian citizen for the last 7 years. I'll give you the V11 somewhere.
A citizen?
Yep, I'm a citizen for the last 7 years. Okay,
so according to you, it's a fact that you are a citizen.
A fact, and I can give you a V11 and I'll put $1,000 bid forever. I don't want to 1,000
I can't even afford to buy a video game for my son for $1,000. I will give you £50 tomorrow for you to produce that V11 so that we rule it out.
Please, because you know I need to talk to you. Sabina,
okay, enda bye-bye.
Aenda iwe putsekera kushandisa.
Sidoro.
Papa iwe. Hayi wawo. Ha. Anyway, yes, I've been Mukoma Masimba ipindirwe. Or they know that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sawira. Okay. And there any issue in immigration? I've been citizen for the past 7 years. But panaita mashows angu. Ndakafunga vana mai vangu vasina mapepa. Then I had to put myself in their shoes. Just to make sure that whatever they're going through, and like what I'm saying to you, it's a spirit go deeper, fighting for Zimbabwe. But there are some people like Anna Sabina. They want to come too close to your personal life. My shows, Mr. Mawere, basically, like what my mother always says, pane mwana ndakabarira Zimbabwe mwana. And mama, yes, I think I've got a proof to that. I've got a proof. You go prove that Java is the only true prophet we Zimbabwe. But now we corona e. Then Java, ndiko kuchikira chinhu wani. Ukaramba zvanchataura. Kana azvizvo because I think Mwari anova the only true God. Akamugera pandiri. I think ndakandipa Java. Saka Java akabvuma. That will make me mutumwa wa Mwari. Kana Java akabvuma chamuti apfugamana mati. Mutumwa uta take over. Mutumwa akaita take over within 2 days, Mr. Mawere. Zimbabwe situation in terms of hope in here barinani. Because inopinda storyline yangu on my way to my mother, Zimbabwe. Then vana vamai vangu vazhinji vacho ndo vacha benefit from this storyline. I can switch off my camera and go to my mother today. I can do that, but I don't want to do that because God deeper ndakandibvisa pamukadzi, Mr. Mawere. Imagine. So I'm sure there's something. So tomorrow Friday, in a breaking news, why ndiri kuti Java is the only true prophet with Zimbabwe. Dadaro, why ndiri kuti Zimbabwe in a solution to coronavirus. Mangwana pano pamutunga Mawere ndine breaking news. Nendiri mu deeper mood. No fear, no favor. Then Mama Tilda, vakati iwo ndakavatuka. Mama Tilda, wongu ndakatuka mama. I'm sorry, but I want to say I'm sorry pamberi penyu. I want to explain I'm sorry young with an explanation. Isuri love, go deeper rudo. Mama pachokwadi mu studio menyu, manga mapinda huroi mama. Saka go deeper norwadziwa kuti Mama Tilda, how nice she is, how good she is. Vakutemirwa nematsotsi anabhanda. Example, banda lied kuti anizvekuita nekugara kwanoita murodhi. That's a lie. Kwanapinda murodhi, muyewe go deeper wandipinda murodhi. Haasi banda. Storyline yangu ndiri kushare takatoya pano paMawere before Mama Tilda never live. That shamwari, I want to write my book. That choose when I'm murodhi nini. Sasa kuri banda, stop lying. I've got a storyline to share. Go deeper. It's a solution for Zimbabweans. Right? But again, there's nothing called Zimbabwe Mawere. I know. But I'm trying to put it in pedestrian languages. This is a movement. This is a movement. This is a spirit. Ndapinda musango Mawere. Ndasiya pamba. Ndasiya mukadzi akanaka. Ndagara musango. Why? Ndikuzibvunza kuti why? Go deeper in a narrow. I think in a solution. I think wanaona mai wangu. Zvakafamba zvakanaka kugara zvakanaka. That's my answer there.
All right. So, so for today, do you have any other message other than going? Because people are saying, if you are you trying to expose a Passion Java, the prophet?
I'm aware. For the first time, those people don't go deeper. Go deeper is ndakamapa Sabina ndo nhaka yakwenda kupewa. Tora go deeper ese ku YouTube yako achataka kutsvagwa nevanhu kuti benzi rakabhotaura. Nyora Sabina, ndakapa Sabina ipapa. Okay, ndo nhaka yake ndakampa iyoyo. Viewers acho amene ikoko ku Sabina. Ndo zvanoda izvo. Anyway, I'm aware. Java is a true prophet of Zimbabwe. I'm not exposing him. I'm going to tell him as a go deeper. Ndiri pamudzimu we go deeper. Kuti nchimuta kuti iwe mfana iwewe. Mwari anditaura kuti uri muprofita wechokwadi. Asi basa rako rapera. Chinangwa chako changa chiri pa corona. Example, wakandigarisa mumba. Right? Corona kaigara mumba. Right? Wauya iwo ubati boom. Where are you today? Right? Mfana. Kachiri mfana because mumweya kana ari Mwari mutumwa muhombe pana muprofita. I am the messenger we Zimbabwe. Mudzimu we Zimbabwe wamukira pandiri. Mangwana uyai ndine breaking news nchideclare kuti muprofita. Napa tip akauya ngwe kuti garai mumba. Masimba abuda mbari ndakabuda mbapa ngwe garai mumba. Right? Java another tip yekushowa kuti because ndakundoketa mumwe yogotipa kuti uyu ndiye muprofita wangu. Angatumwa na Mwari andituma. Java ane brother yake, his blood brother, anonzi Simba. Makadasa brother ya Java, makadasa Mukoma Masimba takada kufanana. Simba situation yari ndo yandiri right now. Fact. Depressions. Ndakwenda kumba, ndakudai, ndakusaka mai wangu, facts. Saka Java. Ndikati Java. mwaramda Java. Waenda daro amawiri. Bangwana. Chamutaura kuti Java, you are a true man of God. Mfana uya pa corona, he was sent by Mwari and he sent out. Mangwana, I'm gonna bring wine to kudaro.
Yes, pane vamwe vari kushowa masymptoms ecorona saka mukagara mangovapawo kaklu pamwe vangabatsirikane nhasi Mukoma Masimba.
Sabina, go deeper, I profita Sabina. Go deeper is spot on. Okay? Mangwana Java.
Aiwa, hatina kuti kuprofita corona, tatu kuvapa ka solution ke corona kacho vakwanise kubatsirikana manheru ano.
Sabina, manheru ano, all I can do is to tell you tomorrow in a show. Show ndine mangwana ndiko break news kuti Java is a true prophet of Zimbabwe. Asi basa rake rakapera pa corona. Chinangwa chakatumirwa naMwari chapera. Why ndikudaro ndini mutumwa na in charge. Right? Then Java has to declare that. Akaramba Java. That is Java ukaramba Java. Go deeper spot on. Spot on.
Komadi kufamashedza na J Israel.
Chibwa muda idza iwewe Sabina. Pa go deeper ukatipa idea chibwa wazviita iwewe.
Totokumbira ka Mr. Mawere vane zita rakasimba.
Aiwa, Mawere ane nhamo dzake oni zvari kuita. Iwe chibwa wazviita iwewe ndione idea ya Israel. Chibwa mayo kuno mutsvaga kuti uyayo mangwana.
Vangaite nhamo ivo vane studio.
Uda kujara kuitirwa Sabina. Mangwana undipo murume wako kana baba Mandela usipo ndiwe ende kuitirawo. Uda kuitirwa chete.
Ndakakudza kuti usataure zvababa Mandela. Kangani ndichikudza kuti usataure zvababa Mandela.
Sorry.
Ndiziva kuti muroya anogona kunge ari padhuze. Ndokana ndichikudza kuti I'm an ex-prophetess. Usataure zvababa Mandela iyo. Siyana nazvo.
Sorry, ndokurwara. Ndokupeka kwacho. Sorry. Amawere sawira wangu. Vale basi. Ndi best sawira wangu.
Okay, saka on a true note, Mr. Mawere, I think Mukoma Masimba, like I said, Maprisa, you've released him from the cells or queso kukutaura kuti he's unclear, to be quite honest, because vanotestwa zvakasiyana. And I experienced that in 2008 when I got shot twice. No, not with the live gun, but with 2 taser guns. Vanotangira kuendesa ku police station, and then kana uchitaura nyenyenyenyenye vokuendesa ku mental home, and then ku mental home ikoko unogona kupukunyuka. Okay, saka nangokudzai procedures. Saka isusu we've got the right yekutaura naMukoma Masimba zvedu when it comes to the law. But vari kutaura again kuti vakagarwa nemudzimu wavakagarwa navo and havasi kuda kutaura, and vari kutaura kuti vari kuda kuona Passion Java, and I think Passion Java, Prophet Passion Java, it's comfortable to come to your profile imimi Mukoma Mutumwa Mawere. Sorry, atichaziya kama different Mutumwa Mawere mbenge Mukoma Masimba atichaziya, but pano pa Mutumwa Mawere, and then Simba Java mataura kuti chimumwe Mukoma Masimba.
Sabina, unoziya chinhu wani Sabina, unoboziya pana pa Mutumwa Mawere Sabina pani rich content iripo yeShabani Mashawambai ndio yaita ndiwe pano zonyora bhuku rangu. So this book I'm trying to
ngahlala ezvishavane mina ngakwira iShabani mine uyakwazi amagudo asitandanisa tina sakwira igomo isabhivile mine mina uyakwazi mina ngizvishavane girl man.
Correct Sabina chiteka nichidai Sabina rachinyarana ndada kupedza Mr. Mawere ndindakawakumbira kundiwe pano nenguwa dzawo. Right, Mr. Mawere.
Okay.
Another takudza kuna Java kuti Java siende kuti ndiri mutumwa. Ukaona Mr. Mawere star rake anonzi Mutumwa Mawere ndo star rake, right? Nakushwa kuti go deeper spot on. Mutumwa Mawere in 1996 pakanyorwa newspaper headline kunzi a black business unknown. Mr. Mawere, can you say that headline again, please?
An unknown businessman has acquired Shabani Mashaba mine.
Yes, unknown, right? Businessman. Unapona makwa Shabani Mashaba mine, right? Then along the way, nyika yedu Zimbabwe takaita mistakes ekutanga kutadzirana. ZANU-PF government ndio yanga in charge, and the people like Patrick Chinamasa. So chekuba achigari chive achirowe asi go deeper na Mukoma Masimba inoti iyo ine solution yeZimbabwe isina kutoka kweropa pa go deeper na Mukoma Masimba ta locate Passion Java samprofita weZimbabwe wechokwadi, asi uprofita hwake hwakapera panguva yecorona. Ndini ndauya ndakuita take over, ndiri mumweya in spirit, ndiri pano pamutumwa. Zashuwa kuti ndiri mutumwa zvishuwa. Brother yake Simba ndakupa indicator, right? Zashuwa kuti zvishuwa nini situation yangu ne brother yake. Saka Java mutumwa kuti aite take over, kuti ndive in charge unge Java adeclare kuti abvuma kuti ndamuloketa pamweya. Akaramba kuloketwa Java, second option ndekuti Java abvuma kupusiswa tivake Zimbabwe chop. Akaramba kupusiswa pachigeto, the next option andinayo kwakutora storyline yangu, bhuku rangu, kuti imi Australia government munomboziva here kuti kuZimbabwe kwandinobva uko ndakataurira kuti tine solution ikorona, vakaramba. Australia chati unopenga, enda kwa psychiatrist we. Toenda kwa psychiatrist chiti wana shamani show yandakaita pamawere iyi, show iri kundirwadza iyi, ndakanzi ndinopenga, si ndinayo solution. That psychiatrist nchamupusha kuti andisise ku parliament kunoku, enda wa present that story. Chiti kuti story yangu ye solution yachiibude. Let's start with Zimbabwe first. I'll come back to Zimbabwe again. Because andingasiye vana vamai vangu, andingasiye nyika yangu, andingasiye mai vangu, right? Because ku Zimbabwe iko kwamawere chiri kudiwa chete from the international community. Varada kuona nonzi iyo restore of rule of law, varada kuona ma reforms. Go deeper na Mukoma Masimba, tinawo ma reforms yakatoloketa andijeni na Uncle Jedi. Takatowati karema peka mabegi, vanhu vakaseka nezuro pano. Andijeni na Uncle Jedi garema peka mabegi. Tiri kudai pa God deeper na Mukoma Masimba, tikuda value yenyu, ndoda mune basa da kukutumai mutibatire pamusha. Imagine Mr. Mawere, international community wati pane maZimbabweans epa social media vatokwanisa kushanda naMnangagwa, kwatokwizwa vanhu ndege vatinda kuZimbabwe kuita ma reforms. Imagine to the international world, how nice is that? Pasina kudeuka ropa, tichishanda tese, pasina dzingwa basa, tichigadzira chi go deeper na Mukoma Masimba iri spot on wamawere. Mukangoteerera chete muri Zimbabwe, mukateerera chete ndatinyorei pasi mangwana Java, you are a true prophet. Yes, I agree. Mwari wakakutuma ndiye andituma. Then Java akaramba Mr. Mawere, andingazive. Asi chinangwa changu ndikunyora bhuku rangu. That's it. At the moment, all I need, mangwana, to prepare, to declare to you, Mr. Mawere, kukutsvagai, kuzari muri free ngwai, to posta niko yakati, to declare, why ndiri kuti Java ndiye prophet wa Zimbabwe? Why ndiri kuti tine solution ye corona ku Zimbabwe? Then I'll declare tomorrow, ndiri pa go deeper. And I hope I won't go emotional. I hope I'll remain calm and sober. And I don't want you to aid anyone until I finish. Because I'm Sabina on the disturb. Mr. Mawere, no president mangwana.
All right, no, thank you very much. And if you are watching there, tomorrow is Friday, the 14th of August 2020, in this new normal. Many of us are challenged by law to remain at home, to be distant from others. And we are there to learn, ready to learn as usual. And change your title, please. Tomorrow I'll change it, but I only put the title as I understood it. And what you get is not the title, is the content that is delivered in between the start and end of the conversation. So thank you very much, Sabina, for being here. And thank you for also taking your time to download in your own words.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mawere. Okay. As we go to say that, what do you want to say?
I think that I'm also learning. The life allows us to learn day by day. And we will have a better way of knowing, interpreting events. And there are many people who cannot invade your mind. So we are there to learn from what you allow us to know. So it's great that at least there's an opportunity for you to present your side. If it was somebody else, people would say it's serious, but the manner in which you are downloading allows us to go deeper. Yeah. So we are there to thank the people who follow. It's not easy to be followed. For those who want to be followed, who use social media, there is no way you can cause somebody to follow you. And those who are saying they don't want to follow Mukoma Masimba, I've not heard a word of invitation to say, follow me. All that was a conversation between us, and you are witness to it. Yet there are people who actually wake up in the morning wanting to be followed. Like Nunzi, flies, they follow meat, but at no stage does meat invite flies to it. So we need to be able to understand the human spirit and the adventurous spirit that is in all of us to say, what is happening there? What is going on? And if we know what is going on, then we are part of it. I don't think this Mawere is very normal. How could he entertain these two cycles? This show Panama Games are Kwitika Apa. I'm not entertaining. You are the one. What are you doing here, Mother's Gogo? If you are here, it means there is something in you.
I agree.
That wants to hear. How many comedians are in? If Mukoma Masimba is writing a story that will unpack things that are hidden, because some of us are stubborn and we want to know what we don't know, then who is to blame?
Yeah.
There is no bigger story. This is not scripted. I didn't know that Sabrina was coming, but in the passage of time, Mukoma Masimba was going because they happen, not because somebody has planned for them to happen. So I do hope that life will be understood in the context in which it is understood.
Yep. What time can we? What time are you free tomorrow morning?
Right now, it's morning, either 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock.
Let's do it at 9 o'clock minus 4. That becomes 5 a.m. this side. So
and 11 o'clock.
9 a.m. Zimbabwean time. Let me just try to break it out. 9 plus 5 plus 4. That's right now it's nearly 2 plus 4 6. Yes, 9 o'clock is okay.
All right. So 9 o'clock our time.
9 o'clock, yes. So Mr. Moire, basically this go deeper, which is what I call my opinion. But I think Jawa Namuloketam spirit go deeper. Yes, he's a true prophet. Can I read the same God and the Tuma? So I want to talk to Jawa tomorrow. I want to present good wind of the Jawa is a true prophet. And God deeper is always spot on. So I'm gonna prepare. I'm nearly there. I'll be done by 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'll be done.
All right.
Yes, I'll be done. And hopefully I won't go emotional. And go deeper is back. And it's all about Zimbabwe life matters. Yes, though the content and denial. Manaoma wangu ndinokumbira chinhu one.
Yeah.
Tisakwadzisane. Storyline yangu bhuku rangu iri rine zvakawanda. It's very sensitive. Please Napota. tisamanye, because I'm dealing with things after bangwana mtazoti hey musoro wangu akatakura zvakawanda. Saka this is basically trying to say Zimbabwe Lives Matter. So I'm trying to put my book ishifte ku Zimbabwe Lives Matter, then ishifte to my reforms ari kudiwa ya international community. Yobva yashifta zvakare ku Australia side kuno kuma loopholes ariko. Remember I told you yesterday in Triple Hospital, doctor came discharge akati, doctor Simba, you are now fit to go home. That doctor, I told you I'm HIV positive. I told you depression. I told you I'm homeless. I'm in Australia and you're telling me go home. Where do you want me to go? Right? Can you see? This storyline happened from Australia side now. Zimbabwe, I know this world Australia for accommodation. But I told the doctor I'm HIV positive. I'm the most vulnerable right now in the corona. I'm in hospital. You're telling me to go home, and I'm telling you I'm homeless. Right? Those questions, Mr. Moe, those are what I call deeper things. So, inobata ku Zimbabwe side, iri kubata kuti Australia yacho, iri yabata ne corona, iri yabata Java. So I'm gonna connect my dots to say Java ndiwe ronda locate wewe. But go deeper, I have to give a reason why. Nakupa example ya Simba Java. Situation ya Ari ndo yandiri right now. Right? That's a signal. Because where I have to give signals. Right? Chiprofitage. Number 2, your name is Mutumwa Mawere. And I'm telling you, in Indri Mutumwa in Zimbabwe, ni go deeper signal. Right? Number 3, Java iwewe. Wakauya kuti zeri Java profita Zimbabwe yese akakuzia pagara mumba. Ukati garisa mumba nekuda kwe corona. True? Spot on. After corona, we at thou. Mutumwa uya. Java mwari anoshamisa. Mai vako na mai vangu vakatakura matumbu ane vana vakakosha. Tiri mageto youth, another spot on indicator. Takakurira muchechi asi Java. Saka you see, it's a big storyline, Mr. Moire. And it's a deal breaker for Zimbabwe, I hope so. And I'll do my presentation to you as my friend. So it's basically me telling you, my friend. Right? And the world is listening. This storyline takayo wina Mawere in a content yekuti HIV corona Zimbabwe ku Zimbabwe kwacho kwatozi kwatone order kudhara kwakatoiswa na antigen ine pa Facebook Australia kuti sa Zimbabwe ine ma reforms nai tiri kukwanisa kufamba nebhora sevana veZimbabwe pasina kudiwa ropa. Simple, go deeper, moya we Zimbabwe ndiba nenyaya cheba papa.
Yeah. So no, thank you until tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Mr. M. Thank you for your time. And tomorrow, I think go deeper for sure.
All right.